Dr. Nichelle, specializing in prenatal, postpartum, and pediatric chiropractic care and fitness, along with postpartum rehab. During pregnancy, everyone gets ligament laxity to an extent because of the relaxin in the system that loosens up all the ligaments. Some women, before they're pregnant, have ligament laxity genetically. There's a couple tools that you can look at to see if you have ligament laxity, but it's best to be told by a provider based off of them doing an assessment. One tool is called the Beighton scale that can let you know if you have ligament laxity. I tend to find these people have always been flexible or they've always really enjoyed yoga, and suddenly during pregnancy things like yoga and stretching aren't helping and they're making things worse. So if you happen to be somebody who has ligament laxity, it's usually not the best idea to be sitting in sustained stretches. The reason why is because you're working through the muscle and then you're just hitting into those ligaments and stretching them more and more beyond the point that they need to be in. With the addition of relaxin, now we're having this excess stress and becoming more and more unstable, which is creating greater pain. However, because of the instability in the ligaments from before genetically and then also due to pregnancy, the hip is nice and loosey-goosey, so much so because the ligaments aren't doing their traditional job that the muscles clamp on and are tight. So as opposed to stretching, you can get a trigger point ball and get into those tight muscles as opposed to just sitting into a stretch into those ligaments. So for instance, in the glute med, you would come into that glute med muscle on the ground with that trigger point ball, and you can just sit in a spot with the ball. You can also bring your leg down and in, getting to the muscle, and find a new location where you feel that tenderness, drop down and in, or you can just sit there and just roll into that spot that's tender. So that can be done in any muscle, getting into the muscle with a trigger point ball. This is just a lacrosse ball. There's a bunch of various forms like yoga tune-up balls you can use, or even a firm tennis ball. But the idea is that you can get into the muscle to release it, but in a trigger point or foam roller manner, as opposed to just sitting into a stretch that's going to excessively stretch out those ligaments beyond where they should be.